Parliamentary procedures face scrutiny in a heated session, uncovering gaps in democratic accountability.
And it's so appropriate. Out of hatred for the cockroach, the ants voted for the insecticide. The ants voted. They all died, including the housefly that didn't vote. There's a message there, a powerful message there. We will get into it when we start talking about the diaspora election. If the cockroach wants to rule over the chicken, then it must hire the fox as a bodyguard. And things are deep enough, people. Deep. Actually, let's see if this. Let me see how many more we have, Kevin. Okay. Okay. All right. Fine. Truth is not what you want it to be. It is what it is, and you must bend to its power, or live a lie. How much longer can we live a lie? How much longer? All right, we're going to leave the rest of the stuff until we get into the program. No, let me remove this. Let's just start with, again, people, if you've been watching for any period of time, you notice that we spend, I wouldn't say an inordinate amount of time, but we spend considerable time talking about the affairs of Parliament, because we believe it's in our interest to know what our elected officials are doing, how they're conducting themselves within the rules of Parliament. And we're finding out, now that we're shining the light, we're finding out that a lot of them, they have no clue what they're doing, what they're supposed to do, or what they're doing, simply because they don't read. And there's some who they have read the standing orders, but they don't understand. And so it's our job to educate the people, and also the politicians, because they're watching us, they're learning, and it's a good thing, and we welcome that. Wherever you get education from, wherever you get understanding from, take it. All right, we're going to show us something that happened this week in Parliament. I think it's this week. And then we're going to show you something else happening elsewhere.
Speaker says 24 hours. The member make them available to the clerk before. Okay? If the member deliver to the clerk 24 hours before, it's not.
Let me just explain to people what's going on here. The opposition, they had submitted some questions, as they're required to do, to the clerk and for discussion. And the rule is that he must do it 24 hours before. And apparently it was done, and the questions weren't accepted. And they're arguing back and forth about, when was it done, and should the questions have been accepted. And you'll see, and people, I hope you understand. Yes, I'm going to say I told you so. Remember when I told you that what the opposition should have done when the ruling party proposed that Juliet Holness should be the speaker in the first instance and should be the speaker in the second instance. In whenever Dalrymple, MP Dalrymple left, former speaker left, and the position went to Mrs. Holness. And remember what I said. And remember now, after the election, when now they need a new speaker, remember what I said. What the opposition should have done, they simply should, when Mrs. Holness was proposed as the new speaker, they should have said, we propose MP Warmington. And look, you may not like him, and I don't agree. You cannot agree with, you don't agree with everything that a person says. But when somebody is right, you have to acknowledge that. And I think I'm correct in saying he's one of, if not the most competent person to talk about house rules in Parliament. And the House is proving me to be right, including Mr. Warmington, MP Warmington. So this is what they're arguing about. But it's going to take a turn. You're going to notice the turn. Because remember, Mr. Warmington is a member of the ruling party. Remember, watch. If you didn't see it before, watch and see who is supporting on this point.
Members vote. So we can't say the speaker didn't have the time to look at them.
Parliament Drama Series, January 27, 2026. Today in Parliament, things got real heated, real fast. Questions were blocked, tempers flared, and for once, yes, for once, a government MP sided with the opposition and called out the speakers. This wasn't politics as usual. This was accountability knocking at the door. Welcome back to Michidek's Commentary, where we break down the drama, expose the double standards, and bring the truth into context. If you're new here, like, share, subscribe. Being blocked on the grounds that the speaker didn't get a chance to look at them. But then, plot twist, Everald Warmington stepped in, and instead of defending the chair, he shut down the argument completely and sided with the opposition. Warmington made it crystal clear. If a member submits a question 24 hours in advance and delivers it to the clerk on time, their obligation is fulfilled. It is not the member's responsibility whether the speaker reads it or not. He questioned the logic bluntly. Why ask for 24 hours notice if the excuse afterward is that the speaker didn't get time to look at it? According to Warmington, once the member follows the rules, the burden shifts entirely to the speaker and the House administration. Blocking questions under those circumstances, he said, is totally unacceptable, and calling it anything else is pure nonsense. His message was clear. Parliament is not a place for procedural games. Questions are a tool of democracy, not a favor granted by the chair. And when a government MP is saying what the opposition has been shouting for months, you know something is not right.
Question and answers to question.
Mr. Speaker, I'm seeking clarification again because an attempt was made yesterday by a member to inquire or to submit questions to the Speaker for approval for tabling today. And it was followed by, again, a document circulated to the member, which confused the process. And I'm really hoping that we can clarify this finally. And also to be able to get a clear timeline as to when, what time during Monday, and the questions what we submitted for them to be properly vetted for tabling today. Because I think it's unfair that the member having submitted the questions for vetting yesterday, the approval has not come as yet. So I'm urging that a definitive statement be made as to what time on the Monday is the cutoff time for the tabling of questions, so that we don't have a confused state of affairs going forward.
I think on this matter, the Speaker has issued clear directions in relation to the questions to be submitted. I think my recollection is within at least 24 hours before one intends to table them. But this is a process. Once the questions are tabled, then the questions, in accordance with the standing order, have to be vetted, looked at, examined by the Speaker to ensure that they are in accordance with said standing orders. We would have gone through this process already. This letter, my understanding, with the questions would have come in yesterday, and the Speaker at the time has not gotten the chance as yet to look at it, and as such, the questions are not now here with us. As we can all appreciate, the Speaker is not in the House at this time, and as such, as such, based on the time when the questions arrived, and the Speaker not being able to peruse the questions at that time, the questions are not yet before us. I'm very certain that as soon as the Speaker can peruse the questions, once the questions are in keeping with the standing orders, then the questions will be so tabled at the next appropriate time.
It's my time. I think I was up before you.
Make him go first.
The member was before you. Mr. Speaker, the standing order says the questions are delivered before the sitting of the House. The decision was that at least 24 hours before. If a member submits his or her question 24 hours before, it's no business of the member whether the speaker look at it or not. It's supposed to be with it before the sitting. It can be 10 minutes before. It can be 10 minutes before. Okay? So why the hell did you ask for the 24 hours before? It's not the speaker member's fault. Our business whether or not the speaker look at it. It's our obligation to review it before. So don't tell the member this time. Don't tell the member. Don't tell the member the speaker didn't get a chance to look at it. That's not unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. And we should bring it out to that level to come with this nonsense about they get a chance to read. Nonsense. Before you, House Leader, let me just read from the standing order.
Based on my information,
Sorry, turn the mic on.
based on my information, the questions were submitted at 3:41 p.m. yesterday. That is my information.
Members. Before you all speak, I will be reading from the standing order as it relates to questions. Section 14, nature of question, subsection 2. Notice of a question may be handed by a member to the clerk during the period known as question time. Every such notice shall be signed by the member giving it. A member who desires an oral answer to a question shall mark his notice with an asterisk, and a question not so marked shall require a written answer, which, when received, shall be circulated with the minutes of the proceedings of the House. Subject to paragraph 5, a question mark for oral answer shall be put down for a day to be named by the member, being a day not earlier than 21 clear days after the question has appeared on the question paper. I am reading from the book.
People, Professor, what them get them Kunumunu people have wrong? What he just read had nothing to do with the 24-hour period, you know. That says that you submit it within 24 hours of it being presented to Parliament, presented to the clerk, in order for it to be discussed the following day or whatever time. 24-hour period. He read something completely it's not germane to the issue. Where we get these people from? Talk to me, Professor. Help me out. Help me out.
Totally unrelated. It's just finding something in the standing orders to read.
You know, if I'm smart, you know, him should have got to. He read section 14.
Section 14.
17. Yeah, him should have got to section 17. And you know what happened? One of our students wrote to me and said, hey, they make a mistake. It's 17, them talk about 14, 15, 16, and the one that really got 17, them shall go to 17. You could be clear, listen, we don't know much more of this we can take, but because we are sensible people now, we are going to show you some sensible people approach these things with speakers. But we could listen a little bit more.
Sorry.
Mr.
You hear what Warmington said? Don't try to muzzle me. Don't try to muzzle people. You hear that?
Mr. Speaker, in adopting the position advanced earlier by the member from Southwest St. Catherine, I'd just like to say, Mr. Speaker, that anything can happen to the sitting speaker. And if we can advance now by urging the deputy speaker to also be in a position to vet these questions and to signal approval. So it need not have to wait on the substantive speaker to address these routine matters. And the section that you have read already, the section you have read, Mr. Speaker, it really is not relevant to the issue at hand.
You hear that? You hear that? Thank you, MP Paulwell. It's not relevant to the issue at hand. Where them get them people from?
So, Mr. Speaker, I would have just gotten sight of the Speaker's ruling on this matter the last time that it came up. And what I said earlier was not a part of the Speaker's ruling in relation to the 24-hour period. What the Speaker had indicated in her ruling is that the standing orders are to be strictly adhered to. In other words, at question time, the member looking to table questions are to hand up the questions at that time. At that time, the questions, then there will be a vetting of the questions. It does not mean that the questions being handed up at this time, that the Speaker who is currently sitting in the House will be able to vet them immediately and to see if they are keeping with the standing orders. And
Having followed the logic of the leader of government business and the ruling by the Speaker, what we are doing is concentrating the powers of a gatekeeper into the hands of the Speaker. Yes. Because if you submit something and the Speaker decides that it's going to take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we can end up in a situation where the tabling of the questions will be delayed until the matter is no longer relevant. Now, where did this 24 hours come from? And why is it that we were referring to 24 hours and then the pushback to say that it was late by half an hour no longer stood? We're hearing now that it is going to be tabled during question time, and at the discretion of the Speaker, maybe this year the questions will be deemed appropriate.
Remember, the ruling from the Speaker was from last December. So pay attention to that. It was from last December. So it's not just now. It has been here for at least a month or so.
Mr. Speaker, I rise simply for clarity. I was actually in the House one Tuesday afternoon when the Speaker made a big point about making sure that the questions came in time before. Yes, I was sitting here. No one told me. I heard it with my own 2 ears. In fact, the point that you have raised was the point a member sought to make. And he was made to seem as if he was ignorant to the standing orders. In fact, the Speaker did say that he should know better because he had been here before. And so I do not want us to just run across it like that and pretend that the speaker did not give us different instructions separate to the note that she has written. In fact, if you just allow me, I'm ending now. In fact, the problem has been that in trying to keep order, sometimes the speaker goes beyond, yes, what she is supposed to. And I think that just a little discretion and treating us as adults to listen to the points that we are making in that conversation could assist.
Mr. Speaker, you know, I'll start with the last point made by the member. One of the challenges that we've had in this House is probably that point about discretion. What the Speaker has consistently tried to do is to keep us in line with the standing orders. It doesn't have to do with treating anybody like children, but we are a parliament of rules, and the rules are contained in the standing orders. And if as adults we do not like the rules, if as adults we do not like the rules, we do not chastise the person who is keeping the rules. We use the processes to amend the rules. So it is very important that we do not misrepresent the approach of the speaker. And the beauty with this speaker, other than indicating her view, is that the speaker reduces to writing in very clear terms her position and rulings on matters. And what she does is to consult and then to issue a ruling. So on the second day of December, 2025, on the Speaker's ruling on the House of Parliament documentation, the Speaker has a very clear ruling. So I ask all the members to familiarize themselves with the ruling. Secondly, to the member from St. Catherine, the standing orders does make the Speaker the gatekeeper. It is very clear. Standing Order 16 says, the 16.1 says, the right to ask a question shall be subject to the following general rules, as to the interpretation of which the Speaker shall be the sole judge. There's only one Speaker, and the Speaker has to be that judge. So again, to be clear, and I apologize to the House earlier in relation to not first consulting with the Speaker's very clear ruling. To be clear, when the House reaches the agenda item, question time, the member who is desirous of asking questions are to submit their questions to the clerk. The clerk will work with the Speaker in relation to the review of those questions. I appreciate the questions about time frame. It's one of the issues that the standing order is silent on. However, I am very sure, especially whether it be the Deputy Speaker or the Speaker, that it will be done in reasonable time. Reasonable is a construct of law. Reasonable time. Reasonable has to be depending on the questions, whether, remember.
All right, hold on. Well, let me take it down. I don't know what's going on there, but you know, MP Floyd, Minister Floyd, just keep this in mind, people. He's singing for his supper. And I like the term that Maureen Bailey got, fertilizer Floyd, because we're going to touch him with the fertilizer piece. Not today, but we have that pile ready to go. And we will get to, I don't want to be disrespectful though, Maureen. I don't want to call him fertilizer Floyd. I want to call him Minister Floyd, but I mean, that's really catchy though. I like it. That shows pure genius on your part. Fertilizer Floyd. let me see if we get that. That's
Hold on, Fitz. Hold on, Fitz. Mr. Speaker, Fitz. Hold on.
Member from St. Catherine, so sick.
Where is my phone?
This house is not the speaker.
And let me just stop it there and explain to you what's going on there. MP Fitz-Jackson raised a point of order, and the speaker apparently refused to acknowledge him. And you're seeing how the whole situation devolved into chaos. I'm going to stop it there because time is at a premium. And I wish sometimes, Professor, that this program could go back to 11 o'clock because we have so much to talk about, but reasonableness must prevail, all right? I'm going to show you now how you deal with a speaker intelligently. I'm not what MP Fitz-Jackson did. I can't fault him, but here's the thing, that it's against the standing orders, right? It's against the standing orders when, well, actually, to think about it, it's not, because he raised a point of order and he wasn't recognized, and he has a very good right to object. So I take that back. He didn't want to sit, and he's complaining that, hey, you're not acknowledging me, and you don't know what I'm going to say. Remember, we talked about this a while back, saying once a point of order is raised, you must listen, and then once you listen, then you can make a decision, right? You can either say out of order, you can say withdraw, you don't recognize what the person is saying, but you have to listen because you don't know what the person is saying. Now listen to how one of my favorite South African politicians, listen to how he deals with something that's somewhat similar, where somebody made a comment, one of his colleagues made a comment, and he's challenging it, and the speaker just didn't want to recognize him. And by the way, I hope you remember that we played the same speaker that Julius Malema raised a point of order with, and he didn't want to listen to it. And after he listened, he said, "You're right. I would have made a mistake if I didn't listen to you." Here it is.
Unconstitutional. I don't know. No, we are saying so. No, you are saying they violated. You agreed with Sauls when you say no. Was this unconstitutional? You said yes.
Dotting lines. Remember?
Yeah.
When he said Sauls, he's referring to another member, Ashley Sauls. You'll see him momentarily.
But wait, because I want us to move on. In other ways, to today. No, there's no point of order here. Chair. Please, Chair. There's no point.
Let me just go back because it's such a short period of time. This speaker here, he's talking to the witness and he's saying, "Hey, you agreed with my colleague, Mr. Sauls." Mr. Sauls is now raising a point of order to say, "No, you can't say that." And listen to his reasoning, and listen to how he calmly, even though he said he's raising his voice, but listen to how he calmly and intelligently deals with the speaker. Listen to how he deals with the speaker. Here we go.
Unconstitutional.
I don't know.
No, we are saying so.
No, I don't know.
We are saying they violated. You agreed with Sauls when you say no. Was this unconstitutional? You said yes.
It was a violation of the Constitution.
Hence, I'm saying
reporting lines.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. But wait, because I want us to move on. In other ways, to today. No, there's no point of order here. Please, Chair. Please, Chair. There's no point of order. We never get involved when he was speaking. Now, because he was saying something, he must wait for me to finish and not disturb me.
Point of order, Chair.
Can I continue?
Honorable Nomvalo, how did you handle matters like this one?
I was not entertaining them, Chair. Honorable Skozana must proceed.
No, it's a point of order, Chair.
Okay. Honorable Skosana, proceed.
Thank you. Now, the IMC, as I said, it was a body which was established by the President.
Chairperson, point of order.
This is out of order, Chair.
Chair, a statement was made.
The point of order is not recognized. Can we proceed, honorable members, please?
Thank you, Chair.
Chair, it has nothing to do with the witness. Honorable Skosana said.
Chair, can you mute him, please?
The witness agreed with me. I did not make any statement.
They're out of order, sorry.
So,
Honorable,
no one disturbed you.
I'm not disturbing.
And you were saying a lot of things we don't agree with.
I'm not disturbing.
Oh, don't disturb our speaker.
You can't mislead
do that.
the public to say that the witness agreed
during our time.
wrong.
One can stand, this is our time. We gave
It is
you time,
wrong.
and you fumbled.
You are not the chairperson.
You fumbled during your time. You were preaching here, making motivation. You were busy motivating a witness here.
Then
Asking questions.
preach to you. Do not lie.
I'm not going to interrupt our speaker here.
Do not. Your speaker must not lie.
Who do you think you are?
Your
What do you think you are?
Honorable Ashley Toy.
You are not going to disturb. You are not to be disturbed by you.
You will not lie about me, and I must.
You were busy reading scriptures. You were busy reading scriptures.
You will not lie about me.
That to us.
I will not allow
You are not
about.
disturbed by you, souls. You must behave here.
You must
behave.
Don't lie about me. And
this is not a circus here.
Don't lie about
This is not a circus.
Don't lie about me, and the chair is protecting.
Oh, who's dying? You must keep quiet.
I will
allow you to speak a lot of
constitutional right.
allow you to speak a lot of nothing.
I will
Keep quiet.
I will
Allowed you to speak a lot of nothing.
control me, sir.
Now we want to tamper with our time.
Lie in your time.
No, don't do that, man.
If you lie about me, I'll raise my voice.
Please.
I'll raise my voice. If you lie about me,
Don't test us.
don't lie about me. And Chair, I'm very, very, very upset. You are protecting MK by lying about me. I have not given testimony here. For him to say that the witness agreed with me is to insinuate that I was leading the witness. I was dealing with his testimony.
Chair, can you please, it's my time.
Don't lie about me. Don't lie about
He was leading the witness, and we kept quiet.
He must lead the country.
Listening to him. He can't fathom what I'm asking the thing. The witness will respond for himself. It does not need you at all.
Don't lie about me.
And we are here to protect criminals.
Don't lie about
That is why we are panicking. Don't tamper with our time.
I'll prove it. Prove that I'm here to protect.
We are here to protect criminals.
Prove it.
We know that you can't even hide.
Me there.
Can't even hide. Don't tamper with our time, please.
Show you truth.
This is not a circus, man.
You are a liar.
Not a circus run like Mackenzie. This is Parliament.
Put me on the stand and test whether I'm protecting criminals. Put me there. Let's see. Put me there at that stand and I'll show you truth. I'm not a liar, so don't lie about me. And Chair, you cannot protect lies.
He's pointing fingers, an honorable member, and the language he's using.
Pointing to the roof. Are you on the roof?
No, we are not.
Are you on the roof? I'm calling on my...
No, you are lying. You are not pointing there. You are pointing here.
Doing this, you must look carefully. You're lying again. I will not sit here and be lied about.
We must go to church and preach, man. You know, Chair, can I have my time, please?
Please do. Go to church and speak the truth.
Please, Chair, can I have my time, please? Please, can I have my time? Thank you, Chair.
Let me tell you, honorable members, where the house which Parliament allocated me, I'm staying alone. It's only me and the television. So when I get entertained like this, I love it so much because it takes me away from the boredom of the house. So can I give you the next 30 minutes to restart from where you ended, and then we will continue with the meeting later? You can even come and stand here.
Yes, for my image, I will do so. Because you are procedurally wrong, Chair. I call a point of order.
He is continuing again.
I call a point
It's
of
like he's
order.
the chair here.
I like it when you stand here.
Yeah,
You can
I
stand.
call a point of order. You don't rule on the order. You didn't hear my order. You just decline my order. That's wrong. According to the rules, you must hear my order and then make a ruling. Why are you treating me unfairly? And then you allow them to lie about me and you protect them. I will not sit here and allow that. So you can say what you want, Chair. I'm sick of it. I always ask, I respect you. I call a point of order. You must allow me.
Chair, this man does not respect you. It's a fact now. Ever
I
since
do
this
not
morning,
care what you
continuing
say.
doing what.
Procedure requires you to hear my point
He's
of order.
the only person who knows the procedure here. Please, the procedure here. We know the procedure. It's not the
Raise the
only
point
one.
of order. It must be heard, and then you make a ruling. I can't sit here every time, and every other person gets opportunity to speak when they want. They can say what they want, and I just must sit back.
There's no one who said, and you are the only person who has intervened here. You are the only
I will
person.
not allow it. When it comes to my name, I will not allow it. So I'm raising my voice like this because you have not followed procedure, Chair.
So you are the chair now. You are teaching the chair how to run.
Based on procedure, based on the rules. If there's a point of order,
So you are the
rules
only
it.
person who knows the rules here.
No, study the rule. Am I wrong? Rule says if you raise a point of order, the chair must hear it and then make a rule.
Honorable,
The chair didn't do that.
crave your indulgence, please.
I will not allow it. I will not allow it.
May I make an appeal, Honorable Chairperson,
Yeah.
to our esteemed honorable members to please consider the decorum of this House and this Parliament, and also consider the task at hand, that it is not our task, it is not for us, it is for the people of South Africa. And therefore, they are actually looking at us and with that hope that indeed this process will come out with something that will save them in the predicament they find themselves in, insofar as crime is concerned in this country. So I just want to make an appeal to honorable members that for the sake of our people out there, can we actually focus on the task at hand? Well, political gymnasium, we actually can do that in the plenary of Parliament, and it's coming. But for the sake of this particular committee, can we actually do that? I'm just pleading, Honorable Chairperson. Thank you.
Is there anyone who wants to speak on what Honorable Mngongo has said? Nobody wants to speak. But I still want to say it, honorable members, that the stage is open here. The stage is open. If members have the energy, you can come to the stage. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to check if there is anyone of you prepared to come to the stage.
Chair, I take exception to the fact that you're making this look like it's a performance. It's a true grievance. I raise the point of order, you ignore me. And every time I must accept it. So I maintain. And it's not a performance. I'm dead serious. It's wrong what you are doing.
Yeah, I can allow you to speak for the next 5 hours.
And again, you are treating what I'm raising, which is my constitutional right, as something frivolous. It's not. You are procedurally wrong. And stop doing it. Treat us all fairly. It's wrong what you're doing. And I maintain. And if I need to repeat it for 5 hours, I would. But I cannot take it anymore. I leave it. And show favor to MK. They can do whatever they want. And then I must keep quiet. Now it affects my name in the public to make it look like I'm leading the witness. I don't know that man. And I must keep quiet. It's wrong. And I will not allow it. And I'm raising a point of procedure, nothing personal. So I maintain.
Mr. Songwane,
Yes, Chairperson.
you are our witness, isn't it?
Yes, sir. I am.
And you were in conversation with the Honorable Skosan.
Yes, sir.
Yes. There was nothing, Honorable Souls, that stopped you from allowing Honorable Skosan and Honorable Tongwane to conclude their conversation. And then you raise your hand and the chair will accordingly recognize you. There was nothing.
Chair, how can you say that when you didn't hear the point of order? How can you say that there was nothing when you did not hear the point of order?
I'm saying that during these proceedings,
yes,
there are honorable members who raise hands, and I show them that they have been recognized. We allow the proceedings to flow, and at the right time, we give them time to speak.
But the rules say when you raise a point of order, which I did, based on what I heard the honorable member do, I raised the point of order.
Can we
then chairperson had to hear?
Can we
ignored me?
Save the proceeding from this kind of engagement.
But follow procedure, Chair. I didn't do anything that was wrong.
May we please save these proceedings from this kind of engagements?
When you should follow procedure. That's all I'm saying.
But can I say these proceedings are not about whether the chair is right or wrong? We have a witness here. That honorable members must be given opportunity, each one of them in rotation, to converse with the witness. Can we please respect that?
Indeed, but when I raise a point of order, you should hear the order, Chair. You did not. You blatantly ignored me. Now you're saying
because the honorable member was still in conversation.
The rules allows me to call a point of order because at the point of what he
But
said,
what I'm saying is, do we really have to argue on a point of order?
we weren't arguing. If you just followed procedure and allowed me to say my point of order, then make the ruling. You didn't do that. You ignored.
I find that to be very unreasonable, Honorable Son.
You were unreasonable, Chair, and I maintain you didn't follow the rules. It's wrong. I have a right.
It's me who is unreasonable.
Indeed. Yes, sir. It is you. When I raise a point of order, you blatantly ignored me and then state the witness shall continue.
Okay. Can you suggest how must we proceed now from here? If you can give us a suggestion so that we don't waste our time.
Please be clear.
Arguing between you. How do you suggest we must proceed from here?
Be clear on the rules that I wasn't wrong in raising a point of order. You were not supposed to deny me the opportunity to hear my point of order and then make a ruling. You just decided you're not going to allow me. And I raised my point of order at the time when the honorable member did something out of order. That's all I'm saying. So, as I stop, Chair, you can continue, but don't make it look like it was a performance.
What time do you want the proceedings to resume?
All right, let me remove it. I think you get the point. The point is when you raise a point of order, the speaker cannot ignore you. The speaker must listen to your point of order. And also, the speaker can't anticipate what you're going to say. Cannot. Speaker has to listen and then make a ruling. And that's what happened with Fitzjackson. He was saying, hey, I raise a point of order. You're not recognizing me. You're recognizing other people. And so he's like, no, I'm not going to sit. And you saw what happened. Also, again, people, here's the document. This is the Bible. Standing Order, Bible for the House of Representatives. Here it is. This is it. And you hear them talking about section 14, 15. They were talking about, here it is. They were talking about 14, nature of questions, 15, notice of questions. They were talking about 16. It says, the right to ask a question shall be subject to the following general rules. As to the interpretation of which a speaker shall be the sole judge, the right to ask a question. The right to ask a question. But you don't know what the question is going to be. If the person says point of order, you have to listen. You can't say no. Big up yourself, Jamaics, because they should have gone to this one. And by the way, he raised 16. And believe me, if I were in the parliament, I would tie them up in knots. They wouldn't get anything done unless they would abide by the rules, because 16 has so many things in it that you could object to. Here it is. Look at this. All of the, I won't go through them today. Lots of things you could go through and you could tie them up. But they didn't talk about this. 17, manner of asking and answering questions. Big up yourself, Jamaics, for bringing this to my attention. And Jamaic said, hey, they're talking about what, 14, 15, 16, or 16, 15, 16. They should have gone to 17. Nobody went to 17. And again, it's a lesson in and of itself that if you're the people's representative, if you're representing a constituency, at the very least, you should know the procedures in the House. And if I could give them advice, because I know they listen, if I could give them advice, here's the advice I would give them. Both parties. Have classes with your members, maybe on a Saturday. Have them come with the book, and then you go through the provisions. You teach them, and you also provide scenarios. And you teach it as if you're teaching a class. Oh, calligraphy, you can just go online. You can Google it, this document here, this. Just Google Standing Orders of the House of Representatives of Jamaica, 1964, and it's there. And it lays out all the rules for Parliament. All the rules. And so, like I said, if I were in Parliament, they couldn't talk to me. They really couldn't talk to me, because like MP Warmington, they would have a difficult time because I would hold their feet to the fire. I wouldn't be arguing on an emotional level, on a philosophical level. I would be arguing on the standing rules. I would say the standing rules say this, that. And like you see, Deputy Speaker Heroy Clark, he read something that wasn't germane to the issue. I would let him pay for that. I would go to the standing rules and give him chapter and verse of something that says what you just read is pure foolishness. I wouldn't just say, as Minister Paula said, that essentially that it's not germane to the issue. You need to punish these people, but you need to punish them procedurally.